$671? Thorn gasped. You heard me right, lady. Your radiator was completely busted. Had to order a whole new one. The man sounded a little bit brusque on the phone. Okay, thank you, sir. You said it'll be ready by noon today? Thorn asked for clarification. Uh-huh, the man confirmed. Great, I'll be there. Thorn tried to wrap up the phone call. This man seems to have the same amount of sympathy as a rock. Just be sure you pay the whole amount full, the man snapped. Yes, sir. I will see you in a few hours. Thorn hung up the phone. So, what's the damage? Dusk cautiously asked. Well, let's just say we'll definitely be needing to get those jobs we've been thinking about for all week. Thorn laughed anxiously. Come on, Thorn, how bad could it be? Luna said, seemingly a bit in denial. $671. Thorn hung her head a bit. Oh well, we could just put that on a credit card. Luna awkwardly chuckled. If we do that, we'll need to get jobs. Thorn then quickly shut Luna's suggestion down. If we don't have a consistent source of income besides a few shows a month or two, I'm going to be buried in interest, and I don't think Dusk wants to either. And if you don't even have a credit card, Luna. I guess that's fair. I just never thought it would come to this. Luna looked upset. Especially right after it might look like we've gotten a big break and put our first album. No one even thought it would come down to this, Thorn sighed. But we're gonna have to keep on making decisions that help us move forward now that it did. I guess, Luna said somberly. Do you still think working for our parents is a good option? Yeah, I think my dad would love to help me help out around his pharmacy, Thorn suggested. Maybe we could invite the parents over for dinner tonight? There's strength in numbers after all. My dad wouldn't mind having an assistant setting up appointments and filling out the paperwork either. Luna's tone then got a little less anxious. Cool, I'll invite the parents over for Tony. Thorn then paused when she looked over at Dusk. Although the blonde eagle goth didn't look like she was going to cry, she looked quite emotional in a grumpy way. Dusk never usually expressed any sad emotions. She had through anger and lashing out, but because she was raised to believe sadness was weakness. Oh, I'm sorry, Dusk. Do you want to have your parents over? I'll even call them if you want. I'll just say that you were busy or something. No, it's fine, Dusk curtly said, without getting any hint of emotion. Dusk's parents were so strongly disapproving of her music career that her father and mother would never let her work it with either one of them. Even if she didn't become a musician, her parents still probably wouldn't have let her. Her mentally in life was if you wanted something, you had to do it yourself. While this philosophy, perhaps, could have been good for moderation, Dusk's parents took it to the point of neglecting to provide their daughter with any help if she was struggling. It was no wonder Dusk had developed such a hard outer shell growing up. She had to figure out so much about her life herself, because her parents' values certainly weren't the ones base her life values off of. Do you want to have them over with our parents tonight? Thorn inquired. Dusk's previous response was too short that it didn't really answer the question in a clear manner. She had always tried to use the term parents to make it more or less hard when it comes in terms, due to the fact that her mother was no longer with them. Yeah, sure. If I don't, the other parents will probably tell mine anyway, Dusk presumed. Thorn realized that she was right. While Dusk's parents were standoffish with children, they were quite social with other adults. For whatever reason, Dusk's mother and father believed that children these days had it too easy, and that it might have been toughed up and completely independent to make it in the world. Independence was something and an important value, but sometimes it seemed the word independence was as synonymous with the emotional abandonment of her parents. I'm going to call my dad now, Thorn informed. Thorn picked up the phone and dialed her father's number. After a few rings, she heard his joyful voice. "Hello, Sally," Thorn's father greeted. "Hi, Daddy," Thorn smiled. "How are you?" Thorn's father asked her. "I'm doing okay, Daddy. Our car broke down, unfortunately," Thorn revealed. "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that." Mr. McKnight seemed worried. "We're okay," Thorn assured. "I just wanted to invite you over for dinner at our apartment. Luna and Dusk's parents are coming too." "That sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to," Mr. McKnight agreed. "What time would you like me to come over?" Well, we have a little concert today at the coffee shop at 12:30, so how about 5 p.m., Thorn suggested. "That'll work perfectly," Mr. McKnight confirmed. "I'll see you then. Love you, Sally." "I love you too, Dad," Thorn said, before hanging up the phone. "How did it go?" Luna asked. "Good. He's coming over at 5. If you want to tell your parents that, you can use the phone now, too. I'm gonna have to start getting ready for the concert today," Thorn informed. "We'll have to go straight there from the auto shop. 'Cause we don't have much time to make it back to the apartment. We'll have to bring the instruments in Bridget's car, too, when she picks us up." "Wait, don't we have to call her?" Dusk asked. "She gave us her number to let her know when the car was done." "Oh yeah," Luna reminded. "Yeah, I could take care of that after I call my parents," Dusk committed. "I'll just need some positivity, that is, just to get the bad taste out of my mouth." Dusk hated talking to her parents. They were always judgmental of her life choices any time they saw her, which is why she tried to talk to them as little as possible. "Sounds good, thanks, Dusk," Thorn smiled. "I appreciate it." Thorn headed over to the bathroom as Luna picked up the phone again and began dialing her parents' phone number. She hadn't brought it up about it before, but hopefully Bridget will be available to pick them up at a short notice. Thorn had just finished getting ready with the ample time before the show, so the other two could use the bathroom. The black-haired goth had been in her room alone, brainstorming some lines for her new song. It was a love song, which she currently gave the working title, "It's a Mystery." She never really personally had been in love, but she quite enjoyed writing about how mysterious yet ethereal the concept of how love could be. As Thorn finished writing one of those lines, she came into the living room to greet Luna, who was already sitting on the tan couch reading the newspaper. "How did the call with your parents go?" Thorn inquired. "It was good. They're coming over at 5, Luna informed. That moment, Dusk came out of the bathroom, her hands quickly fixing one of her pigtails that fell out of place. "Did the call go okay, Dusk?" Thorn asked hopefully. "Yeah. Bridget says she's gonna pick us up right at 11:45. She said she was excited to see us again, and that she was happy to help on such a short notice," Dusk replied. "Well, that's not what I meant, but, you know." Thorn put her hands on her lips. "How did the call with your parents go?" "Oh, that?" Dusk still pretended as if she didn't know what her friend was talking about. "It was fine. My mom said they'd be here at 5 like everyone else." "Awesome. So we should try and guilt them into giving us jobs by trying to tell them about the horrible situation we're in?" Luna teased. "No, we should not," Thorn replied in a playful voice. "I think they'll be receptive to us and saying this is unexpected car repair had happened, and we needed another source of income. Well, most of them anyway. It's fine. Rub it in," Dusk sighed. "Oh, I'm sorry, Dusk," Thorn replied. She hadn't realized that the blonde-haired goth girl was excluded. I guess it's okay," Dusk harumphed. "I just don't know where I'm gonna get a job. It's not like we have that many business around here to be looking to hire." "Oh hey," Luna then had another face that looked like she was having empathy. "Jack is always saying he could use help around this restaurant. Why don't you ask him?" "Actually, you know, that's not a bad idea," Dusk realized. "Jack's right around near the coffee shop we're performing this afternoon. Maybe we could stop there after the concert." "Sure, I think we should have some time before dinner with our parents," Thorn argued and agreed. "Thanks," Dusk graciously said. "What's the dinner plan? Are we going out or cooking here? Luna inquired. I was thinking we could just invite here and cook something. I'm not sure what, though, Thorn pondered. We could figure it out later. We better get downstairs, though. Luna pointed out the clock, showing it was 11:40. Oh, shit, Thorn gasped, having lost track of time. We've only got 5 minutes until Bridget's here. Thorn ran down her room and grabbed her guitar, while the other two girls went to their bedrooms, picked up their instruments as well. Is there anything else we need? Remember, we're going straight to from the repair shop to the concert, Thorn reminded. I know, Dusk snapped impatiently. No, I think we got everything, Luna said. Let's get going then, Thorn quickly responded, as the two girls rushed out of their apartment. Well, as fast as they could, holding heavy instruments, that is. Thorn looked at the door behind them and scurried down the stairs with her two roommates. Once they reached the bottom of the stairs, they saw Bridget was already outside of the front door waiting for them. Hey girls, Bridget chirped. Hi, thank you so much again for offering to bring us to pick up our car, Thorn smiled as she stepped out into the autumn air with the two other girls. Of course, it's the least I could do for my favorite band ever, Bridget excitedly exclaimed. The four girls started walking towards Bridget's car, which was only parked a few spaces away. Yeah, Thorn slightly chuckled as she put her guitar in the back seat with the other girls' instruments. I appreciate it, Bridget. It was a tight squeeze for Thorn and Luna at the back, but they barely fit. They were separated from each other with a large barricade of their instruments, sitting on the middle of the seat. Thorn then just sat in the back seat near the driver's side, whilst Luna sat behind near the passenger side. Once everyone was in, Bridget started driving. Which coffee shop are you performing at again? Bridget inquired. It's called Haley's, Dusk answered. It's just a couple of blocks away from Jack's. Nia, Sam, and I would love that place. Now I'm even more pumped for your concert. Bridget seemed like she could barely contain her excitement. I'll have to go pick up Nia and Sam after I drop you off, so they can hear your concert too. Sounds great, Dusk replied. We need all the audience we can get. Oh, stop it, Bridget said in a teasing voice. You girls have amazing music. Stop being so hard on yourselves. Oh, by the way, my dad wanted me to ask if you two are willing to move your meeting with them to this afternoon at 2:30. He had something that comes up next Thursday and can't meet at 10 a.m. anymore. 2:30 today? Dusk gasped. I mean, can we make it work? We've already got the concert till 1, and we wanted to stop at Jack's, and we'll arrive by dinner by 5 for our parents. It'll be all right. I think we could do it, Luna responded to her fellow Hex girl. My dad said the meeting will only be an hour, Bridget said. That should work then, Thorn agreed. Are you girls okay with it? Yeah, it should be fine, Dusk said, as Luna nodded. Well, it's settled then, and you could tell your dad that we're okay with him moving the meeting up, Thorn confirmed. Awesome, Bridget answered. As the last stabile left Bridget's lips, Thorn could see that they were just pulling into the repair shop. 3 constructive beeps were heard just as Bridget parked the vehicle. It wasn't until the pink-haired girl commented that Thorn realized that it must have been coming from Bridget's watch. 12 o'clock is right on the dot, Bridget smiled. Did I make a good time or what? You sure did, Thorn chuckled. Well, thank you so much again for driving us here, and we hope to make it to the concert on time. You don't know how much this means to us. Of course, always happy to help out the coolest band in the world, Bridget chirped, as the girls grabbed their instruments and waved goodbye. Bridget did the same. She's a little over the top sometimes, isn't she? Luna commented, just as Thorn handed her guitar to hold while she went into the building. She's just trying to be nice, I think, Thorn explained. It just comes out as a little awkward sometimes. Anyway, I'll go in and take care of the bill. Thanks for putting out all your credit card, Thorn, Dusk said, after the black-haired goth as she started heading inside the building. We promise we pay you back later, Luna echoed. As Thorn went into the building, she saw a grumpy-looking man at the counter. He had a grease stain on his shirt and had general looked quite bedraggled. Yeah, what can I do for you? The man snapped. Hi, I'm here to pick up our car, Thornton informed. Instead of wasting time on the pleasantries, the man simply grunted. Last name? McKnight, Thornton answered. Oh yeah, I got your paperwork right here. That'll be $671.45, the man said. Thornton simply handed the man her credit card without saying anything. It was clear that the customer service was not as this man's strong suit, so she didn't waste her time and energy trying to be friendly to him. You're all set, the man gruffly said, as he handed her the keys to the soccer mom van. Thanks, have a good day. Thornton tried to let out a half smile. The man simply grunted in response. She didn't really care how the man treated her, but she certainly wasn't going to be a grumpy back. Thornton was happy to see more than pleasant-looking faces on the two friends and bandmates when she left the building. All ready to go? Luna asked. Yep, it's all fixed. Thornton then walked out back of the repair shop to find the soccer mom van safe and sound in the parking lot, parked near the scraggly-looking oak tree. We've got to get moving then. We've only got 20 minutes to get to Haley's and set up. Dusk pointed on the watch on her right arm. Thornton grabbed her guitar back from Luna and loaded in the back seat of the car. This time it was Thornton's turn to drive, Dusk's turn to sit in the passenger seat, and Luna's turn to be squished against the instruments in the back seat. We should be fine, Thornton reassured, as she began to drive. The coffee shop's only a couple blocks from here, then Jack's is only a few blocks away from that, and then the music studio is only a few miles away. After that, it's just a few miles to get home, and we'll have time for everything. It'll be the most eventful afternoon we've had in a while, Luna laughed. The girls usually wrote in the afternoons. It was quite unusual for them to perform during an afternoon, as most of their shows were in the evenings. Since then, it was everyone was done with work for the day. Thornton wondered if the turnout for this concert would be less than usual, given that no one could probably make it. Well, no one other than Bridget, Nia, and Sam. After a couple of quick turns and brief stops at traffic lights, the girls had arrived at the coffee shop. Seems like there's a lot of people here today, Luna observed. I wonder if they're all here to see us. Doubtful. I am sure more people are here just to get some work done, Thornton downplayed. The girls hauled in their heavy instruments into their car and into the coffee shop. It was another beautiful autumn day outside, with bright orange and yellow leaves all around. A few people briefly looked up from their work and glanced at the girls carrying such bulky instruments. Having performed before, they exactly knew where they needed to take their instruments, up to the large empty space in front of the coffee shop with fake fireplace. Hey, you must be the Hexed girls, one of the baristas said. Thanks for coming today. You're welcome, Thornton smiled. Is it okay if we sit up here? Absolutely. That's where Haley said she wanted you, the barista said. Where's Haley? Dusk inquired. She's just in the back doing some paperwork. If you girls want, you can get some coffee while you are waiting to hype up for your performance, the barista offered. I could definitely use some coffee, Thornton laughed as she set her instrument down and had looked up at the sound system. In the matter of seconds, Dusk and Luna did the same. What can I get for you girls? Barista asked. Thornton then looked at her name tag and saw her chest that said Anne. Well, I'd like a blend of mocha with soy milk and whipped cream with some extra shot of espresso, Thornton ordered. I'll take an iced tea vanilla latte with skim milk and whipped cream. And can I get a cherry flavored shot in that? Luna asked. Of course, Anne nodded. Oh, just for the love of God. Can't anyone just get a normal coffee here without a million things added? Dusk rolled her eyes. I'll take a black coffee. No cream, no sugar. Alright, I'll be getting on making those, Anne promised, as she hurried over to the coffee machine. Wait, you forgot to charge us, Thornton reminded. Oh no, it's on the house. It's the least we can do for you girls, since you are so generous to perform and all. Thank you, Thornton smiled. It was very kind of barista to not charge them for any of this. The Hexed girl stepped to the side when they noticed someone else was behind them, so that person could order. Hi, can I get a blended caramel mocha with oat milk, whipped cream, and a bit of chocolate drizzle with half a shot of espresso and a vanilla flavor shot? The woman behind the mask. Oh, good lord, Dusk huffed. It's supposed to be a coffee order, not a grocery list. Thankfully, the woman didn't hear them, possibly because she was distracted by the barista calling out the Hex Girl's orders. Well, all right, here's your drink, girls, Anne informed as the girls' drinks were on the counter. Dusk quickly picked up hers and took a big chug, probably just to make sure she was finished with it before they had to start performing in a few minutes. How's your coffee, Fawn? Luna asked as she took a sip of hers. Really good. They always make great coffee at this place, Fawn responded. You're always welcome to try mine if you want real coffee, instead of the slightly caffeine milkshakes you're drinking, Dusk teased. Before the other girls could formulate a response, Haley, the owner, came out from the back. Hey girls, thanks again for performing today, Haley said. You could start whenever you're ready. Haley always came off a bit firm, but not because she was in a bad mood or didn't like the girls. It was just her personality. Are we ready? Fawn asked, slurping down the rest of her drink. I am, Luna said, setting her coffee down for a side for later. The other two girls then looked at Dusk to see her chugging down her coffee with one big gulp. Hell yeah, I'm ready, Dusk said, after swallowing the large amount of coffee at once. Let's do this. As the girls performed, they had noticed that no other than Bridget, Nia, and Sam were directly watching their performance. Some people looked up for a moment from their papers or computers to watch the girls play, while the others had their eyes glued to their work. The best they got was one girl with long brown hair in a braid, constantly to look up from every few minutes to watch the girls perform as she multitasked and did whatever she was doing. Looking over at the clock, the girls saw that it was 28 minutes had passed. They were only scheduled for a half-an-hour show. Fawn dreamed of asking if they had more time and one more song as the audience cheered in response, begging to be graced with simply just a few more minutes of performing. But that wasn't this. This is a coffee shop. Their audience was mostly people doing homework or completing work for their jobs. No one cheered for them. Fawn had a tendency of fantasizing of what could be rather than this. She needed to remind herself to stay at the moment, because dreaming about some outlandish possibly wasn't going to make her sad about that it wasn't true. We're going to play one last song, alright? Fawn announced. Fawn took herself a bit out of her fantasy and been performing Trap of Love. Just as she presumed, no one even cheered or even seemed to be excited when they were planning that one last song. Bridget, Nia, and Sam clapped for their hands for a bit, but it was just an extent of what they got. They probably wouldn't even have anyone come up to them after the show. Just as the girls finished their final note of Trap of Love, they heard a surprising call from the audience. Let's hear it for the Hex Girls, Bridget shouted. They got a freaking record idea. That was the audience's attention. Many people looked up from their work and began clapping for the girls. Looking to her right, Fawn saw Luna blushing a little. That's when Fawn realized that she herself was blushing. It was odd because Fawn always fantasized about people paying attention for her music, but having someone else unexpectedly draw attention to her felt a bit embarrassing. Even if it was her cool to have people congratulate them on their record deal. Fawn expected to have Bridget, Nia, and Sam be the first one to rush up and talk to them, but someone else who Fawn did not recognize beat it to them. The young woman looked about her age, had light brown hair. She wore a salmon-colored sweater, which appeared to be a dress covered in flower prints. Hey, I just wanted to say I love your music. The girls are such a technique of sound, the girl complimented. Thank you, Fawn smiled. I practically loved Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. I'm not sure if you girls would be interested in something like this, but I'm running an environmental project where we're trying to help stop this oil pipeline that are trying to go through the public park. It would completely destroy the habitat of hundreds of animals living there, the girl informed. Yeah, Fawn said, after she thought about it for a moment. I'd be interested in that. Me too, Luna agreed. Hell yeah, we're actually eco-goths, so all of this is definitely passionate about protecting the environment, Dusk explained. That's great, the girl smiled. We'll be meeting in the park on November 1st at 2:30. I hope to see you there. Oh wait, I didn't catch your name, Thorn inquired. Oh, I'm sorry, the girl laughed. I'm Julia Bijou. I'm a college student and I'm working on my senior capstone project. Oh, neat. Where do you go to college? Salem State? Dusk asked. I actually go to Harvard, Julia revealed. Whoa, you go to frickin' Harvard? Dusk gasped. Yeah, Julia said. I'm just doing there an internship in Salem for the environmental nonprofit. That's cool. Thanks for inviting us, Thorn thanked. We'll definitely be there. Great, have an amazing rest of your day, Julia exclaimed. Just as Julia started walking away, the three they were originally expecting to come over to greet them. That was an incredible concert, Nia graciously complimented. Thanks, Dusk replied. So how are you girls doing such after a freaking awesome performance? Sam inquired. Pretty good, Thorn awkwardly laughed. There were so many ways to compliment someone. It seemed that if the girls found every way in the book. We just got invited to an environmental event in this November too. Whoa, Bridget exclaimed. That is so neat. You girls are really moving up in the world. We should probably get over to Jack's if we're going to make it to Bridget's dad's meeting on time, Dusk reminded, pointing to the large clock hanging above the chalkboard with all the Burris' names. It currently read 1:28. Oh, you're right. We got so busy talking to Julia, we lost track of time, Thorn said. It was great seeing you girls again. Thanks again for the ride, Bridget, Luna meekly added. Of course, and have a great meeting with my dad. Bridget waved goodbye as she, Nia, and Sam began packing up their belongings and leaving as well. Thorn, Dusk, and Luna split off the rest of the other three girls as they headed towards their vehicle. Thorn loaded her instrument in the back seat, accidentally nearing whacking Luna in the head when she was swung a bit with the car door wide open. Hey! Luna teased. Oops, sorry. Thorn felt a little embarrassed by nearly incapacitating the red-haired goth. She quickly hopped into the driver's seat and shifted into gear into drive, as soon as she was sure the other girls were buckled up. There was no time to waste, given that they only had an hour to drive to Jack's, talk to him, and make their meeting on time. Do you want us to go with you, Dusk? Thorn asked. Yeah, sure. That might help. We're almost always together whenever we see him. I think it'd be weird if we weren't, Dusk rationalized. Okay, we're here. Long drive, huh? Thorn laughed, given that they only drove in 2 blocks from the coffee shop. The downtown of Oak Haven wasn't even more than 10 blocks away. It was a considerably small business district, but Thorn had grown up to appreciate it. There was a place for everything, and you didn't have to choose between a million different options just to find something. If you wanted a certain thing, you'd know where you had to go.